This is the latest rack from Shingleback Offroad, the Aussie company. This is the Lite rack. We've had this rack for a couple of months now and we have had tons of questions and comments. And so in this video, we thought we'd run through the the most common 9 questions being asked, and really the 9 things that we love about this rack the most, the key features, the benefits of the rack. We're gonna try and cover and address all of those points for you. So get set, let's start with number 1. What do we like most about this rack? What sets it apart from other vertical bike racks? It has to be the quality, I reckon. The way Shingleback design their racks, construct their racks, all Aussie made, right down in Ride High Country, Victoria. Aussie steel, super high quality. The finish, cuts, the welds, everything these guys do is supreme quality. Now, we have definitely checked out a bunch of other vertical bike racks from other Aussie brands. Some of them are okay, some of them are just downright scary. The quality of those things, and I think we're really spoiled because luckily we have used a lot of Shinglebacks, but it's really noticeable just the quality that sets these guys apart and everything they do. A rack like this, yeah, it's gonna be an investment. You're gonna want it to last a long time. You're gonna want it functioning really well and have no dramas. So a rack like this for us equals peace of mind, security for those expensive bikes. They're not gonna end up on the road. Mate, that's the number 1 thing I'd say. Quality sets these guys apart. Number 2 would have to be versatility. So we've said this is the Lite rack. Now, Shingleback have a pretty big range of vertical bike racks. They've got the Boost, the Sport, and the Classic this is basically replaced. In our mind, this is actually probably the best rack because it's got the elements of the Sport and the Boost. It's got the user function, all that stuff, which we'll get onto later. But the Lite rack, it's, give it a play on words, it's not overly light, and it's definitely not light on features, but it's not heavy. So look, the thing about this rack is it comes in a bunch of configurations and it's all about tailoring the rack to suit your lifestyle, your family, and what you're gonna wanna do with it. So this is in the 4 bike configuration. You can go from 2 bike configuration all the way up to 6. Jump on the website, check out the whole range. And then there's a bunch of add-on bits as well, which we'll get to later. So usability and versatility is number 2 thing we love about this rack. Again, setting it apart from the competition. Number 3, what we love about this rack, it's not just for mountain bikes. And, well, it is for mountain bikes, but it's also for, I've got my kids' mountain bike on here, 20-inch wheels, add-on parts so I can carry that as well, carry BMXs, carry 290 mountain bikes, carry e-bikes. It's got a massive payload, we'll get onto that later. But yeah, you can really capture bikes of all shapes and sizes. I'm a big guy, this is a size XL bike. It's sitting right there next to my little man who's 100 centimeters tall. So yeah, it's really carrying all those bikes. It's going to carry the whole family. And then another thing, which we'll get onto later, is you can even carry road bikes on these things. So with the skinny wheels, they've got special inserts. Really, really versatile rack. You're buying a rack here, any kind of bicycle or sporting equipment will bolt onto this thing and be carried securely. Thing number 4 we love about this rack is how easy it is to use. Load the bikes on and off. It's got the drop mechanism, which we'll show you. We love how it's activated via the foot pedal. So put my foot on here, hold the bikes in my hands, lower the rack down, makes it super easy to get on the bikes on and off. And also that then allows us to access the rear of the vehicle without having to remove the rack altogether. A great bit of usability. My wife, she's quite short. She goes out riding on her own, she'll chuck her own bike on and off this thing, doesn't need me around. So yeah, super versatile for people of all different ages and stages, heights and shapes. Mate, I think this thing's another absolute knockout. Number 5, it would have to be these cradles, a really unique design that Shingleback have nailed and kind of perfected and refined over the years. So yeah, these cradles have a bunch of different eyelets, which allows you to kind of adjust them to suit your bikes and what you're going to stack. So if you're going to have, say, 2 of the exact same bike, same model, same size, sitting next to each other, there is a chance, of course, that the handlebars or parts of the bike might rub. In that instance, what you can do is set the bolt pattern aside so that one's going to be slightly offset from the other. Again, heaps of usability, heaps of function, and it all comes down to the name of making sure that your pride and joy doesn't get damaged whilst you're driving or getting from A to B. And yeah, it's again, just going that extra mile to make sure that the bikes are going to stay safe and sound. Shingleback do that really, really well. Number 7 would have to be the unique modular design of the Shingleback Lite rack. It's a rack that you can literally customize and adjust to tailor your lifestyle, like we sort of said before. Shingleback offer a heap of really innovative designs, aftermarket accessories that you can get on this rack to kind of enable you to do even more with it than it comes stock. So for instance, if you want to carry your road bikes, If you went and put your expensive carbon fiber road bike wheel in a normal cradle of any vertical bike rack, they're going to flop around and probably snap your wheel in half. So Shingleback come with this really unique design that clips in at the front and back here, allows you to carry your road bike. Then when we're talking about smaller bikes, so like I mentioned, I've got my kids' little mountain bike or a BMX on here. There's a little insert right here that allows you to carry that smaller 20-inch wheel, and down here as well. Again, that's so as these bikes get bigger, the rack is going to be able to mount them without having to buy any more bits. But the other thing I really like, because a couple of the boys at the magazine here, in winter we like to get away, get down to the snowfields. Obviously sometimes it's not easy to carry your snowboards or your skis in the car, but you can get a bracket on the back here that Shingleback offer. Allows you to carry all your sports, snow sport or even water sport boards on there as well. So the Shingleback design, really modular. Again, you buy one rack and you can adjust it, modify it. You can change the height to suit your bikes. There's just a world of possibilities with these racks, and these guys really tick all the boxes in that regard. Number 8 would have to be the auxiliary plate holders that Shingleback have come up with. Now, they feature the bungees that are kind of iconic to Shingleback in that orange and black colorway, but really, really good design. Now, anyone that's been pinged by Highway Patrol across Australia for not having a clearly displayed number plate, now obviously you have to have your rear display number plate displayed. During daylight hours, it just has to be visible. At night time, it has to be illuminated. So Shingleback have got a solution for both of those. This is their kind of basic model here, clips the bikes or clips the rack. But then this is the model that we actually is our go-to, because you can put it on day, night, don't have to think, give it a second thought. It's got the all of the electrics. It connects to the caravan port there. Number plate goes in the middle there. Peace of mind, cupping the bike. It's not going to go anywhere. Super durable, great little aftermarket accessory, auxiliary plate holder. Number 9, the final point that we really like about Shingleback racks is that they're easy to get. Simply jump onto their website, anywhere in Australia, free delivery. You can get one of these shipped right to your door. So that's something we think is really cool. They've got a really big range, so definitely worth checking out the website. But the other thing we like about the Shingleback racks, when they arrive, they come in pieces. Nice and easy to put together. The crew down there have done a great job with the instructions, Andrew, Kim and the team. But the thing I really like about putting the rack together is it actually gives you an opportunity to kind of familiarize yourself with the rack, start that customization setting up from the get-go. The way I kind of have done the few Shingleback racks we start by putting the lower piece in the hitch mount and then kind of build it on the car or on the vehicle from there. But yeah, it really gives you the opportunity when you're building it to explore and kind of get a first-hand look at the finished detail and the quality of this thing. Mate, it took about an hour to put a rack together, or a beer or two, or a cup of tea or whatever. But yeah, it was quite an easy process, quite enjoyable, but I really like because, again, you're getting a rack like this, it's an investment, you want to have confidence and be stoked on it, and I think putting it together yourself kind of starts that journey. So I actually think that's a credit to Shingleback.